Hi, let's inspect the Flicker Strike build for the WILDSPEAKER. WILDSPEAKER is an ascendancy for Ranger, available only during the Legacy of Frisia event. It revolves around aspect, skills, and minions. But what interests us is the dex scaling from Scourge of the Wilds. That's 1.5% increased damage per 5 dexterity, which is a lot. You'll be able to reach around 1000 dexterity. Flash of Teeth and Fearful Symmetry will grant you aspect of the Cat Off charge and refill your power and frenzy charges upon entering Cat Stealth, an effect very similar to that of Ferul's Fur Body Armor. It's wildly popular in Flicker Strike builds because of the ease with which frenzy charges are gained. You can equip Bronze Lithe for bonuses to socketed movement gems, which includes Flicker Strike. Improve it with Admiral's Arrogance for Rage and additional gem levels to Flicker Strike, which could result in a level 30 or higher gem, and that's a big boost to your DPS. Frenzy Charge related stats are found on Jewelry and Darkray Vector Boots. With power charges, good items, and a few passives, you should reach 100% crit chance. It makes for a powerful Flicker Strike build, albeit prone to big physical hits and DOTs if there's nothing to leech life off of. The damage is sourced mainly from a good weapon like Rare Spirit Blade, but a portion of it is gathered from Ice Bite, Smite, Aura, and Herald of Ice. You're also wearing Fractal Thoughts and various items of that type that scale up the damage alongside Dexterity or Frenzy charges. Your durability stems from Primal Instinct and Acrobatics for a 75% chance to dodge spell hits. Combine that with evasion and block chance against spells and attacks alike with Versatile Combatant. Damage reduction is obtained from Flesh and Stone and Fortify. Recovery comes from Leech. Clear speed is that of a regular Flicker Strike build. It belongs in its own category. Boss damage is great. Try to slay them fast, as most of them can and probably will kill you. Frenzy stacking is expensive on its own, but combined with deck stacking will square up the overall price of the build. Luckily, it will work on a budget as the required items are cheap. We're expecting you to get at least 700 dexterity. The bar is so low because of the abundance of unique items, which is also the reason for the Purity of Elements aura. The three most crucial ones are Bronze Lithe, Fractal Thoughts, and Darkray Vectors. Frenzy charges are important too. Maximum frenzy charges and frenzy scaling are present on many gear pieces, although hard to get in many cases. Fractal Thoughts scales up your elemental damage alongside dexterity while also providing you with 15% increased dexterity and up to 40% crit multiplier if you meet the conditions, which you should. You can corrupt it for a chance for +1 max power charge. Bronze Lithe is a place for your Flicker Strike. It boosts its damage by a lot if the gem is here. You may want to Varl it for an additional +2, maybe even +3 to Flicker Strike. Paradoxica is simply a good sword, but it has no damage conversion, making you fully reliant on added damage from Ice Bite, Herald of Ice, or Smite Aura. With any source of rage on hit, like from Rage on Hit, passive near Vengeance, Admiral's Arrogance Gloves will make for one of the best sources of rage one can get. Its other stats are great too. Just be sure you have a copy with high rolls and try to corrupt them for 1 max frenzy charge. Frenzy charge scaling and 1 extra frenzy charge make Darkray Vector's boots pretty much obligatory. Use rares only if you desperately need resistances. Watcher's Eye, your auras are Purity of Elements and Precision. All Precision mods are good. One of Purity's mods is Tons of Chaos Resistance. Aim for that. Brutal Restraint is implemented for more dexterity. For notable upgrades, get even more dexterity. Socket it between Frenetic and Infused. Socket Intuitive Leap near Fervor and allocate all notables in its radius. If you're short on skill points, use Unnatural Instinct instead. It's an elemental damage attack build with high critical strike chance, which requires a good weapon, and that may be the most expensive item on the list. Be sure your strength is higher than intelligence and that your resistances are capped. No reservation efficiency is needed, but it will help if you want to level up precision. With acrobatics, you want to reach a 150% spell suppression chance. We recommend an experimented base, the Spirit Blade, which converts all your physical damage to random elemental damage. Add to that dex scaling from an influence and plain high elemental DPS via added or increased local damage. On a shield, you should look mainly for maximum life, resistances, and dexterity. Chance to block is important. It's a big boost to your survivability in this build. Gloves, search for maximum life, resistances, dexterity, and maybe accuracy with attack speed. A pair of Influence gloves may roll maximum frenzy charge or additional targeting for strikes. If you prefer Eldritch mods, get accuracy per frenzy charge or damage per dexterity, and rage on hit or additional targeting. A belt will get you attributes, resistances, maximum life, and damage. Hunter's Stygian Vice will be especially good. Try an amulet with a lot of dexterity sourced from Redeemer's Suffix or synthesized implicit. There are multiple other valuable mods here, but prioritize maximum life and dexterity above all. On rings you'll find tons of attributes and resistances. If you want more damage, search for the synthesized implicit for an additional maximum frenzy charge, Redeemer's prefixes for added cold damage, or a simple increased damage prefix. Jewels. After maximum life, look for critical strike modifiers, and if your crit chance is low, elemental, damage with attack speed. Large cluster jewels for increased damage while holding a shield will suit the build. Look for notables listed here, and maybe some more dexterity. Bottled Faith is a big boost to damage and critical strike chance during boss fights. Adziri's Promise adds a lot of chaos damage to the build, especially in physical to elemental ones. For other flasks, we recommend 1 life flask that stops bleeding, a diamond, and a silver flask. The suffixes should increase your critical strike chance and evasion rating. For the tincture, go for a prismatic tincture with elemental penetration. Flicker Strike is an attack that consumes 1 frenzy charge to teleport you right on top of the enemy nearby. Socket it in Bronze Lithe. Link it with Multi-Strike, Close Combat, Ice Bite, Fortify, and either Inspiration if it costs too much mana, or elemental damage with attacks if it does not. Herald of Ice improves your clear speed with the shattering mechanic and adds cold damage to attacks. Combined with Fortify, Flesh and Stone causes you to take much less damage while in Sand Stance. In Blood Stance you'll deal more damage. Purity of Elements grants extra resistances, which are needed since you're donning a lot of uniques, and a complete Elemental Ailments immunity. Link them all up with Enlightened Support. Steelskin forms a protective buff that absorbs some of the incoming damage before it expires or can absorb no more. It stops bleeding. Steelskin is activated once it's ready with automation. Use Vaal Smite to add lightning damage to attacks for 8 seconds. Vaal version adds more damage. Link these skills with more duration support. Assassin's Mark increases crit chance and crit damage against a marked enemy. Mark is applied automatically against rare and unique enemies with Mark on hit support. Link it with Life Tap 2 to spend no mana on it. Frostbomb applies cold exposure and reduces life recovery of the enemy it hits. Leap Slam is a movement attack to boost your travel speed. Link it with faster attack, support and Life Tap. Blood Rage grants frenzy charges on kill, increased attack speed and life leech in exchange for your life as physical damage over time. Precision adds accuracy and increases critical strike chance. Level it up as high as you can afford to. Berserk gradually consumes rage, but increases its effect as it does so. Slay all bandits for the extra passive skill point. When choosing your gods, keep in mind you're already immune to all elemental ailments and that your life recovery is rather good. For that reason, we would recommend Lunaris or Solaris, depending on the type of content you're running at that moment. For a minor god, go for Tukahama, since you're stationary while flickering and you very much need the additional physical damage reduction. On the passive skill tree, you want to acquire awfully a lot of dexterity, maximum life, elemental damage, attack damage, sword damage, and critical strike nodes. Allocate the acrobatics keystone and get enough spell suppression to reach the dodge cap. You will have to allocate all the notables for maximum frenzy charges. Block chance is crucial, but the only real opportunity to get some is via versatile, combatant, testudo, deflection, and the shield and block masteries. What's also important? The small node for rage on hit with attacks, clever thief with mastery for 10% instant leech, tribal fury with its mastery for additional targeting, utmost swiftness with mastery for additional dexterity, thrill of battle with the mastery for mana reservation, life mastery for conditional 15% increased maximum life, Disciple of the Slaughter with mastery for increased charge, duration, and the elemental mastery for 25% chance to treat resistances as inverted. And that should cover it. There's nothing really complex about the build. Thank you for watching and see you soon. Subscribe to the channel and like the video.